Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. Today's one is about round 3 of the Superchamps Championship at Daytona Sandown Park. That was a bit of a mouthful, but yeah, round 3 of Superchamps. So it should be a good one. Should be fairly interesting, and hopefully it's a nice one for you guys to watch. Last round didn't manage to get a YouTube video because I lost the majority of the footage, which was very annoying. And I forgot to change some settings around anyway, so the footage didn't look that brilliant anyway. But today, we've done it right, and I will see you guys at the track. Hopefully it's a nice one for you guys to watch. See you at the track. Okay, so we are on the track, and this is the first race of the day. So we started off with a practice quali, ended up coming 8th, so obviously I wanted to be higher than that, but we're going to take it. Sort of midfield, there's about 22 drivers out, so we're going to take it. This is the first race, so let's get it underway. It's actually an alternate layout, but in reverse, so it's going to be a bit weird. So this is the straight that starts the race, going into turn 1, which is the left-hander. Very manic, everyone going all over the place. Jake Hallen there gets hit by, I think that's Adam Palmer's, I believe. Very scruffy start, but nothing too serious happened. Now I just need to try and stick to the back of Jay, because I haven't really made any positions up so far from the start of the race. So we just need to try and stick with him. Made a little bit of a mistake there and lost a little bit of time by the looks of it. But hopefully we can regain that and just try and stick to the back of Jay's car, because already you can see a gap forming. And Jay actually qualified 4th, I believe. So he was actually flying in qualifying. I think he just, after the start, didn't really go his way, and he got pushed back quite far. So he is definitely a quick driver around this track in a minute. I'm still trying to get to grips with it, really, and it was, I think, all of our first times on the track bar like 3 people. So like it was like coming out onto that straight, like I could not get the exit speed right, or the exit right. I just couldn't get on the power quick enough. I just kept bogging down, and there was another corner that kept happening as well. But I eventually do try and get it a little bit better, and I eventually do manage to, I think. But yeah, we can. It's kind of the same sort of gap between me and Jay in front. It's been the same sort of gap from the start of the race. Obviously, we'd like to be closer than we are. Oh, and Jay's on the grass. Narrowly avoid him. A little bit of oversteer there with wet and grassy tyres, but very unfortunate for Jay. I think he just went too wide, and once you're on the grass, it was a cold day. So yeah, I think it had been raining the day before or something a little bit, so the grass was still quite wet. So once the first 2 tyres hit the grass, it's kind of like inevitable that you're going to go in the barrier. So I just about managed to avoid him, so not too bad. I got out of that pretty unscathed, so that was nice. But now we just need to focus on the drivers ahead, because they've managed to pull away a huge gap between me and the guys in front. So we need to try and catch up one way or another. I kind of knew at this time in the race, didn't really have the pace to be up there with, say, the top 3 and stuff. The top 3 were just flying, and I just kept making mistakes with exits and stuff. And then you'll probably, I think I do start getting pressure from behind from someone, some point soonish. But I think we made up a couple places so far from the start of the race, so it's not all bad. I found that corner quite nice, braked quite late, and managed to get the exit pretty hooked up. It's quite nice. That wasn't too bad that time around that corner. That's the other corner I was talking about that I kept bogging down. That was the corner that I was really struggling with for the majority of the day, really. So next time we do this track layout, definitely going to have to think about adjusting my line and braking points, etc. To try and figure that corner out. But you can see I might be gaining quite a decent chunk of time on the carts ahead. I think they were battling for quite a lot of the last lap. So I think as long as they keep battling, I might be able to catch up to them. And I was saying work together with the drivers behind me there, because I could see that I was just inching ever so closer to the back of that cart in front. So just trying to work together instead of battling and losing even more time. Just try and get some good laps in, catch back up to the pack, and try and make a move from there. Now, I do begin to lose a little bit of time there, I think. I think I've got a little bit of a increasing gap between me and the guy in front, which is obviously not exactly what I want. But now, these three drivers are starting to get into a little bit of a scrap. I try and get a cutback, just bogged down because I hit the guy in front. Two people get past. I can't remember the guy's name in blue. And then James Callan goes down the inside there. That was a big mistake on my part. Lost a lot of time from that mistake. So I just need to, I think it's all part of the experience, but I think I just need to learn where to place the kart a little bit better. I was just throwing my arms around there because someone hit me from behind, but didn't really catch it too much on camera. So lost out on 2 positions now, which obviously I'm not going to be very thrilled about. So I'm just going to try and regain the positions the best I can, and see if I can keep up with them. Again, round this corner, braking is actually quite nice. Actually managed to pull in a little bit closer to the back of Jay's car, and then again on the exit of that corner, just lose so much time. So there's some good and bad corners. Like round there, I was all right, and round here, I was fairly decent as long as I didn't go on the grass like Jay did at the start of the race. And this corner I found fairly nice to drive when you get it right. But if you get it wrong, then sometimes you do usually get it really wrong if you get it wrong. So, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. I'm kind of just waffling at this point, but, it's kind of like a similar gap between me and Jay. Apart from there, very late on the brakes. I think I might have messed up my exit a little bit there, though. Yeah, I did. Way too late on the brakes, I think. I think I am starting to get the hang of this corner. Still losing a bit of time on the exit, but I think the line is looking a little bit more promising than what it was to begin with. So that's definitely something positive. But I will stop talking while I try and catch up with the guys ahead. Now, there's a huge fight up ahead. There's a lot of karts all bunched up, so I'm going to try and make the most of it and try and catch up the best I can. Say and work together to the driver behind. I'm not sure who is behind at the moment. I think it may be Finn Irons. Again, getting frustrated with the exit speed, but that might be my own fault. Just going into the corner too quickly. But then round this corner, I felt really good. And then this one coming up with the braking point, like I said quite a few times already. Some corners I felt really strong on, and then some not so strong, like that one. But like I said earlier, it does seem like I'm getting better at that corner on the exit, and still seems the case. So hopefully it can continue like that, and I can keep trying to chip away at the gap in front, and hopefully get close enough to try and think about making a move. I'm not entirely sure what place I am at the moment. I think I'm about 7th or 8th at the moment. So I've got a little bit of work to do. I mean, I started 8th, so I haven't really lost anything, but I haven't really gained too much either. And obviously, you want to gain the most you possibly can. So we're going to try and catch up to the guys ahead and try and present ourselves with an opportunity to overtake. And you can see the gap closing ever so slightly there. And again, on the exit, Jay just flying away. I just can't seem to get that exit as good as he can in this race. So that's definitely something I'm going to have to learn for the next race after this, because the format for today was 10-minute practice quali, 15-minute race, which is the one that we're doing right now, and then a 25-minute final. So, the starting positions is the positions that you finished in the last heat. So say I finished in 8th in this heat, then I would start 8th in the next one. So I need to get as high up as I possibly can to be able to try and get the best chances of getting anything any sort of positive results. So, like say like top 3 or something. Obviously, you want to be as high up the field as you can for the start of the race, and then you can just work your way from there. So I need to just try and make as many moves as I possibly can, but I just didn't feel like I had the pace in this race. I felt like it was coming, but I didn't think it was just there at this moment. I think I was lacking a little bit. But again, fast on the entry, as you can see, I was kind of closing on Jay, and then on the exit, just them flying away again. And then I can't remember what this turn is. It's like turn 3 or 4 on this layout, because it's different. So I can't remember any of the turns and corners. But yeah, turn 3 and 4 were fairly strong for me, I think. So that was definitely nice to know. Nice to know where I've got some pace and where I don't. Okay, so now going into turn 1, we can see people battling ahead, and we're going to try and make the best opportunity out of it that we can. Jay gets hit by Thomas Williams there, and presents me with an opportunity to get a cutback on Thomas Williams. So that is 1 place up. Thought I might be able to get a run on Jay, but it just wasn't enough. He had a better exit. So yeah, it was a bit irritating that I couldn't get alongside Jay as well, but I will take 1 place any day of the week. A little bit of contact with the back of Jay's car there, but nothing to set him off too much. But I think I did get hit a little bit from behind from Thomas Williams, or whoever was behind me at this point in the race. But I think it was Thomas Williams, because I've only just overtaken him. But again, Jay just seems to be really quick this race, and he's already pulling away with quite a considerable gap. So I just need to try and at least stay with him and try and force him into a mistake maybe, because at the moment he seems pretty consistent at being quick. So yeah, I kind of just need him to make a mistake and for me to be close enough to make an opportunity out of it. Now again, I think there's a little bit of a tussle ahead between Adam Palmer's and another guy in a blue suit, I think. But it's kind of calmed down now. I think Jay is just going to try and get as close to the 2 drivers ahead as he can, because it looks like they're looking quite feisty with each other and trying to force each other into a mistake and make a move on each other. So I think Jay's just going to try and get as close as he can to try and make an opportunity out of it. So I, in the meantime, need to catch up to Jay and then catch up to them two to be able to try and follow Jay through if he does make a move, which is hopefully soon, because we don't have too much time left of this race. So if we're going to make a move on anyone to increase the or get further up the order, it's going to have to be soonish. And this is the time, it looks like. Jay's going to go down the inside going into turn 1 of the guy in the blue suit. Lovely move, nicely done. But the guy in blue suit is going to try and get back at Jay. Can I get anything from this? It looks like Jay's going to have a really bad run at the corner, and I am. Round the outside, just got a much better exit, coming out the exit of that corner there. And now I'm stuck onto the back of the guy in the blue suit, managing to get past Jay pretty successfully. I think even now we're coming across some back markers here. Can see him letting us go, so that was nice of him. But Daytona don't seem to be very good with the blue flags, so that is definitely something I need to improve on, I must say. and another back marker there, managing to avoid him just about. I'm just trying to follow this guy in the blue suit, which seems fairly possible. Like, it seems like I've got the pace, apart from there, again, losing out on the exit, just trying to get my human DRS working, but didn't do it for too long, so that's probably why it didn't work. But to be fair, going down into turn 1, or turn 3, sorry, that was a scary corner. It was downhill, you get top speed in the kart, and it was quite scary approaching that corner because it was flat out as well. Trying to make the most out of that little mistake from the driver ahead, but then it just didn't work, as you can see. That was a huge mistake on my part there. Just try and go for the cutback, went way too tight on the exit and then just lost out. But that is the end of Heat 1. We finished in P5 overall, so not too bad start of the day, not too bad at all. And I'll be starting 5th for the final. Okie dokie then, we are lined up in the pit lane, in the same karts that we had in the previous race, which I wasn't too unhappy about at all, because the last race the kart felt pretty nice. It was just I think it was just me that was messing up the exits, it wasn't anything to do with the kart. Here, we tried to start the karts up, and my battery's dead, so that clearly didn't work, so I'm getting Jay to try and push me along, just to get me out of the way so everyone can get past. But then that didn't work because then I went down a ditch. So then that slowed me down, and then Jay was still stuck behind me. So all was great. But we managed to sort that out after getting a new battery, and we are on to the start of the race. So we are about to get lights out and away we go. And the guy in the blue suit just cuts completely across the track and takes one of the cones out, which isn't actually allowed. And then everyone is just fighting position. Everyone's just going all over the place. You can see Archie Bullard on the far right going into nearly the pit wall. But I've managed to make it up to 2nd. So from 5th to 2nd in about 3 corners. It has been a great start for me. Managed to get out of everything pretty unscathed. I got hit from behind at the start of the race, and that made me go into the back of Adam Palmer. But other than that, everything was pretty well for me. I kind of got out of the turn 1 carnage pretty unscathed, and so did Adam Palmer really. So me and Adam just kind of tried to pull away with the lead, as well, an early lead anyway. So we tried to just pull away with it, and I'm now sitting in P2, which is definitely a great place to be at the moment. So yeah, it was a great start to the race. There was a little bit of comments after the race about if it was my fault or not, but I've got the GoPro footage of why it's not, and like there might have been a few like contributions from me of like pushing and rubbing, but when I went into the back of Adam, I couldn't really do much about it because I got hit from behind, which just put me into the turn 1 with too much speed to scrub off without locking up and spinning. So I'm not going to sabotage my race just because of that. But you can see that I'm still managing to stick with Adam Palmer and getting some decent exits quite a lot earlier on the brakes there, but trying to maximise the exit to try and get a run on him. He says work together, and so far we have been working together, and it's been going fairly well. We've both got fairly strong pace at the minute, but I think I might be slightly quicker, so I'm going to be wanting to try and make the move to get past as soon as I possibly can. You can see Adam's car, or Adam himself, or the car, whatever it might be, really struggling with exit speed. So that is where I'm thinking that is somewhere I can take advantage of it and try and get past him, maybe get a better run going down the straight or down here into turn 6 or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just saying random numbers now, to be honest. But still, getting a good run out of that exit of the corner and onto the main straight, which is a really small straight with the weird alternate reverse layout. But I managed to get turn 1 and turn 2 fairly nice and managed to get it hooked up really nicely. So that was definitely nice to see that I could have some pace around these corners. I did really feel quite confident on it. Don't really know why I didn't go for the move there. I mean, there wasn't too much space, but I could have just done a proper like ballsy move, just dive down to the inside. But I just didn't have too much confidence today. I don't know why. I guess it was a new track layout for me, and it's only my third race driving in these karts, so or competitively anyway. So I'm still trying to get my confidence up there to go for some ballsy moves and dives down the inside and stuff. But I guess that just comes with time. So, so far, the race has been going pretty well. Still managing to stay in P2, but I've got a feeling P3 is quite close behind. Again, Adam messing up his exit there again. So you can see me pulling and gaining on him again. Again, I probably could have switched to the inside and try and gone for a move, but decided not to. Decided it'd be better not to just for now. It was either that or I was just too scared to be honest. Like I said earlier, I didn't have too much confidence. Got bogged down a little bit there. I could see P3 right behind me, trying to get an advantage of me making that little mistake of hitting Palmer just ahead. And I'm just constantly checking behind me to see if he's coming down the inside. And so far, not really any threat from him other than that little mistake from the exit of the corner back there. But I'm going to be proper pushing now because I do not want to lose second place, especially when I'm kind of in contentions for first. So we're going to try and keep the strong pace that we started with, and try and just catch back up to Palmer because there's a little bit of a gap now. Again, I think I messed that up a little bit. Yeah, the exit wasn't brilliant there. I think I went too tight on the exit and lost quite a lot of time. Managed to get back up to the back of Palmer, really. So that's nice. I can tell my kart felt quite nice. And then Palmer getting a penalty board there. And P3, down the inside he goes. Lovely move, to be fair. It was a very ballsy move, but he made it work. And it wasn't too much contact. It was a nice move, to be fair. Not really much I could do. I didn't really see it coming, to be honest. And even now, he's just going for a massive dive down the inside of Adam Palmer. Just one move after another. But Palmer's going to try and put the pressure on, go down the inside into turn 4, I believe. And I'm going to try and pick up any scraps from the top two battling. I believe the guy in front does eventually get a penalty, though. So I'm sort of thinking, well, if I stay here, then I could get a free first place. And I could just kind of chill in third and kind of just sit there. Don't need to make any unnecessary risks or anything, and just get the places given to me. So we'll see how the rest of the race goes, but yeah, I'm just trying to stay in P3 for now. That's the main objective. Obviously, the main objective is to get past the people in front, try and get up to first, but it would be nice to just at least keep third in a minute, because I know it's podium positions, so kind of counts in the final. And get a nice trophy at the end of it if you get in the top 3. So that is definitely some motivation to keep you going. And we're still managing to keep up with Palmer, me and the guy ahead. I think Palmer's probably feeling the pressure. I think that's where the guy in the blue suit got the penalty. And we're just going to try and keep piling the pressure on Adam Palmer in first until he makes a mistake or something to let the guy in front through, and hopefully I can follow him through. But yeah, so far the race is going fairly well. I've got decent pace. I've got a feeling the new batteries actually helped me out quite a lot. I think I've got a lot more power on the exits of corners, so maybe it was the battery last time around. I'm not sure, but it does feel a lot more nippy on the exits this time around anyway. And going into turn 1, a guy in blue suit goes for a very ballsy move once again. Adam Palmer's clearly not happy with that, waving his arms around. But I managed to make the most of it too and get past. I didn't actually intend to go for that move, but I got pushed from behind. And it actually helped me out quite a lot. Now I'm fighting for P1. We're side by side going into turn 4. And it is going to be very close, but I've got the inside line. It's going to be the most optimal one. He's going to run out of space on the outside. And I am through into the lead of the race. Unbelievable stuff. The guy in the blue suit really helped me out there. And then people just piling into the back of me. That has really helped me out. And I am now in first place. So all is very well right now. As long as I can keep in the position that I am right now, I am buzzing. I am absolutely flying. I'm pretty happy with myself at the minute. Obviously, absolutely pooping myself because everyone behind me is probably just eager to get this first place position, obviously, because that is where everyone wants to be. But I think already now, I've already got a fairly decent gap between me and the guy behind. I think people behind were just scrapping all over the place. So that has helped me pull away with a beautiful little gap, which has definitely filled me with a little bit of confidence that I can now take the normal line without defending and without any pressure that's people behind waiting and setting up a move to make. So yeah, I think I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed now that everything's kind of settled down behind me, and I've got a little bit of a gap that I can kind of play around with. Again, I just need to try and put in the fast laps and try and stay consistent without any mistakes, just to keep increasing that gap, because I know I have the pace. When I was behind Adam, I just felt like I was a lot quicker than quite a lot of the drivers out there. And I actually was. I was second quickest throughout this whole race. So I definitely had the pace, which was very, very nice to see. And I believe that's a back marker that we're coming across already. So that is something else we might need to worry about in the future. Well, fairly soon actually. We're catching them quite quickly. So I think this is one of the heavyweights. I think it's, I can't remember his name. One of the heavyweights, but we were about to lap him. And like I said in the previous race, Daytona's blue flags are kind of non-existent. I'm going to be real. Like, they don't often come out, and that was the same today. So I need to try and make my way past this back marker as quickly and smoothly as I possibly can to, I don't even know the words, like to not waste time getting past back markers to people that I don't need to race. I just need to get past them nice and quickly, try and just get past quicker than the drivers behind can. So let's focus on that for the minute. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm hoping that I might be able to get past him on the straight. It will cost me a lot less time than doing it in the corner, which is not going to happen, clearly. But going around turn 4, I'm going to keep calling it turn 4 because I don't exactly know what corner it is, but I'm just going to say it's turn 4. So to me and you guys, that's turn 4, even if it's not in real life, okay? So we managed to get past the back marker nice and quickly, so that was lovely. And again, I've got quite a big gap now from me and the guys behind, so that has filled me with a lot of confidence that I can just kind of focus on my racing and just try and consistently put in some good lap times and just try and pull away with the lead for the rest of the race. And nothing much really happened from now on until something did happen, which I'll get to when it actually happens. So I'm just going to fast forward for now, as there's not really much to say about it. I've been just kind of left to my own devices. So I'll just skip forward until anything interesting happens. Okay, so now I've kind of been in my own rhythm for quite a long time of the race now. And I've just trying to be, I've kind of just been trying to put in some good consistent lap times. Just kind of get into my own rhythm and just focus on the driving, nothing else, and just kind of get into that like flow of just being quick and consistent with no mistakes. Apart from that was a mistake. A little bit of like a snap of oversteer, which obviously wasn't the most optimal thing you could have done around that corner, but it's not like everyone is like proper close behind me, so didn't really lose out on too much. Just need to focus on trying to not make that mistake again, or any mistakes for that matter. So yeah, the rest of this race until the thing that I said was going to come in a few minutes' time, it's so far it's been fairly straightforward and boring since I got past Adam Palmer and that guy in the blue suit. It's just going to be me and myself really, and I've just been trying to focus and putting lap times in, and it's been fairly chilled to be fair. So I'm just going to fast forward again until something else interesting happens, because there's not much that happens for this time frame of the race. So yeah, I will see you when something interesting happens, I guess. Okay, so now just coming up behind another back marker, so hopefully we can try and get past him nice and quickly without wasting too much time. I don't think, well, he didn't really let me pass as such, so I had to try and work for it. So tried to go down the inside there, but it didn't work out, so go for the cutback. And this is where it got interesting. You can see on the left of the screen just then, there was a red flag, but he wasn't doing it where I was racing. So when I came around turn 1, there was people who stopped and I was like, what is going on? And then to me, that guy was holding a yellow flag until I got shouted at to stop there. So obviously I was really confused. And I then found out it was a red, well, obviously I found out because I was stopped on the track and there was someone in the barrier. But it was a red flag and I didn't know that when I was going down the straight. Obviously, I was focusing on trying to get past that back marker and not try and close them off into a barrier going about 65 mile an hour going down the straight. I was kind of concentrating on trying to get past him and then the apex of the next corner instead of looking at a hill where apparently there was a red flag. And the guy on the left of the screen where I mentioned there was a red flag, that wasn't exactly very easy to see when you're looking to the right of you and there's a driver next to you. And he wasn't waving a flag along our straight or anything, he was doing it to the opposite direction. Then, because it's the reverse layout, there's no like light boxes or anything until I get to turn 1. And by that point, there was already people stopped, and the light boxes are awful at Daytona anyway. They're really dim. But yeah, it was weird. And I thought I was going to get penalised for it after making a huge gap. And I thought I was going to get penalised for it and lose my race. So let's just hear this conversation with a marshal. The whole way up the straight, there was no reds.
Yeah.
So is that
I can't really blame any of you.
is that my bad?
I mean, yeah, but no. Like, don't worry about it.
Okay.
But it's just like,
I shouldn't get
try and
penalised.
be aware, but
I shouldn't get penalised for that, right? Alright, cool.
One quick thing. You've gone like around the whole circle on the red.
No, I know, but there's no reds down the straight.
There was red there. Turn 2. Doesn't matter, because when we go red again, wait please, everyone else.
Yeah, I will. So, from this, again, I was a little bit confused because the first marshal kind of agreed with me, thinking there wasn't any reds, which I also, obviously, there wasn't, and none that I could properly see, because apparently there was, we'll talk to another marshal in a second, but apparently there was someone waving a red flag on a hill on the left of turn 1, but I'm not looking at a grass hill when I'm driving. Like, I'm focusing on the next corner, and like, I don't know why they expect you to look at a hill halfway round the corner. So it's just like, yeah, it was confusing. And all the marshals were already helping the guy in the barrier, so they weren't there to wave the flag. So, I mean, this could be an ongoing argument for ages, but I don't see how that was my fault, really. But, I mean, we'll talk to another marshal in just a second, and he was the complete opposite of the first marshal. So, let's have a listen. I swear there was no reds down the straight. The marshal literally just agreed with me. One of the marshals, I swear down, just agreed with me. I got it on video.
You're saying there's no reds?
Down the straight, I could not see any reds.
Considering I was stood next to that light box and for about 30 seconds it was red, it's kind of on you something.
What if I just sit here when it goes green? Or just ignore me? Okay, so yeah, I'm sure you guys can kind of hear the frustration of getting blanked by this marshal. But anyway, let's just put that aside. I don't think there was any like reds that I could see that well down the straight. And he said he was standing by a light box where he was waving a red flag. But as I look back on the footage, I don't see anyone waving a red flag by a light box. And again, I'm focusing on the apex of the corner. Then, when I got round the corner, I'm focusing on some guy that's in a barrier. That was Finn Irons, by the way. He was in a barrier. I think he had a fairly hard hit, so that was why it was red. But, like, I don't understand why they want you to focus on a red flag when you're halfway round a corner or still fighting someone. It just doesn't really add up to me. But anyway, this, like I said, this could be an ongoing argument for a very long time. So I'm going to just stop myself here. And we'll just have to wait for the race to get back underway. And like you heard from the previous conversation with the other marshal, I will wait because I did obviously go. I kept going on the red, whereas everyone else stopped. So, everyone else bar me and that back marker because we were on the straight. Like even the back marker didn't stop. Like it wasn't just me. So at least we know it wasn't just me that did that. So yeah, I said I was just going to wait for a little bit for people to catch up. So yeah, we'll just wait for that and get the race back underway for the last probably 5 minutes or so. So by this point, the track had gone to a full course yellow. So I was just waiting for some people to catch up to make it a little bit more fair to the people behind, so they could catch up a little bit after me just blasting down a straight on the red. So I slowed down a little bit until the guys behind started getting quite close, and they seemed to be going quite quickly. As you can see, I'm waving my arms around, not being very happy, because I thought the drivers behind were lightweights. So I thought they were like second, third, fourth and fifth, etc. because I wasn't really thinking straight, especially after that red flag, because my mind was a mess, because this is like my first race win in a D-Max in this championship on the line, and I did not want to be losing that. So when there's like people behind me catching up on a yellow, I'm naturally going to speed up because I don't want to lose track position. But even though they are heavyweights and not lightweights, they still shouldn't be catching up on the yellows and trying to present themselves with another opportunity to get past me on the restart, because that means I then have to overtake them if they did manage to get past. So I kept speeding up. I kept getting told to slow down, so I kept pointing to the guys behind to tell them to slow down. So it was yeah. Well, I was kind of whinging a bit, I must say. I was having a little bit of a tantrum. Now looking back on it, but I'd say it's for a fair reason. Like, I'm trying to win my first D-Max race in this championship, and I kind of don't want to lose that. So tension was high. Tension was definitely high. I think the green. Oh no, it's still not green. So we're still on the yellows. Just waiting for the restart. There we go. Now it's a green. A good place to go green, to be fair, on the straight. So that was good, at least. So now we just need to buckle down for the rest of the race, which is probably about 5 or 6 minutes worth of just me driving around, pretty much. Like, I didn't really have any other things happen with people in front or behind or anything like that. Yeah, it was just kind of me lifting my own devices for the rest of the race like it had been before the red flag, other than back markers, obviously. So I just need to focus on putting some good consistent laps in just to finish off the race. So now we are coming to the last corner of the race, and that is the checkered flag. And I must say, I would have liked to have a bit more of a celebratory, if that's the right word, celebratory victory, and my first win. I would have liked to be a little bit more joyful across the line. But at this point, I still didn't know if I had a penalty or not. So I was kind of pooping myself, thinking, oh my God, I've got a penalty. I've just completely sold my first race win. So there wasn't really much celebration going on. I was just more concerned about the fact that, oh my God, I've just completely messed up my chances of a race win under that red flag. So we will later find out that we didn't get a penalty. So this was indeed my first ever D-Max race win in a Super Champs Championship. So yeah, first D-Max race win, but also my first win in Super Champs. That's including the Sodi Championship we did last year as well. So yeah, it was definitely, well, once we figured out we didn't have a penalty, it was definitely a special moment and definitely one to go down in the memory book. Just asking my dad where did I come, and he said P1, so I was very, very happy with it. But yeah, it was a manic last 10 minutes of the race. No idea what was going on or anything. That guy was a little bit over-exaggerated, I think. But, you know, yeah, it was a crazy race towards the end. It was like proper, the tension was high. I did not want to lose that race win. So yeah, but thank you guys for watching. If you have watched this far, it does mean a lot. And if you have, make sure to drop a like or subscribe or whatever you want to do. I'm not going to force you into anything, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. So yeah, pretty good overall day. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have watched this far, I know it's been a very long video, so or long compared to the ones that I usually post, so I might have dragged on a little bit if you have watched this far, but if you have, then thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope this one was enjoyable. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.